welcome to the third episode of People Are Lame with me, Ice Gilberry, and I'm joined by my brother again, Bill. Say hi, Billy.
Hey, how you doing? I am a Billy.
How you doing? Hey.
Oi!
Hey, how you doing?
Oppa!
So, how's your week going so far? It's Tuesday. This podcast will probably be out on Hump Day, so halfway through the week for you. How's that going?
Oh, it's going. It's going.
It's going.
It's going.
Yeah, I like from Shaun of the Dead, where they say, "Oh, how are you?" And he goes, "Surviving." Because it's basically it.
Yeah. I was like,
Surviving.
surviving.
I'm not dead, but that's not good.
Yeah. That's not always the best.
Kind of in the middle.
It's like everyone you see them, they're like, "Oh, I'm doing great." 2 minutes later, they're like, "Man, my life sucks." I'm like, no, just say it how it is. It's going.
I knew a guy, and whenever you'd say, "Oh, how are you?" and stuff like that, his answer was always, "Oh, another day in paradise." I'm like, "Fuck you."
How dare you be happy?
No, I was cynical, and I used to be like, "Another day in paradise," too, just to like fucking piss people off, because I'm like, it irked me, so I knew it irked other people. So yeah, I was like, "Oh, how you doing?" I usually anymore be like, "Surviving."
Wait, I just want to say this real quick. I like how you took something positive and you're like, I'm going to put this in a negative way.
Oh yeah,
It's positive.
I'm that Winnie the Pooh and a little dark storm. No, I'm Eeyore.
You're
The
Eeyore.
storm cloud it follows.
Mm-hmm.
Poor Eeyore, that's me. It's like, how are you? Still alive. Oh, well, that's good, right? If you say so. And then, I guess over the weekend there's the Golden Globes, which, I've always I don't really care about the Golden Globes because everyone I've ever heard who talks about that stuff kind of mentions that, it's kind of the slow brother of,
Hey, you saying something?
the Academy Awards. That's the big show, but, to be honest, it's all just movie stars, getting their ego fix,
It's the redheaded stepchild of the Oscars, right?
basically.
And I could care less about the Oscars, too.
Yeah,
I'll be honest about that.
that
It's all
one-
about those Nickelodeon.
That one's
Awards.
a little more.
I want to get gooed.
Oh, you want Kids' Choice Awards?
Kids' Choice Award. Yeah, that's what I was just testing you to see if you knew what it was.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah. We here in Canada,
We here-
really like those awards that look like a orange blimp or a giant dildo, eh?
Oh, yeah.
In Canada, we don't have stuff like that. We have the maple syrup awards. So, and then looking at the list of everybody who won Golden Globes this year, it's like I feel like I watched a lot of movies in 2016.
Yeah, a lot.
But I've seen maybe a couple, but I'm a uncultured swine, I suppose, because I haven't seen any of these movies. Any of them. Like, Best Drama Motion Picture went to a movie called Moonlight. Didn't see it.
I have no idea what that is, Moonlight.
I don't know, and I don't really feel like looking it up, because I'll eventually see it on HBO or something, maybe. And then Best Actor in a Drama, Motion Picture was Casey Affleck in Manchester by the Sea. That is a movie I want to see, but I hear it's so depressing and so sad. I'm like, I don't watch movies to be sad.
What is that movie about? I haven't seen anything about it. I don't even know who Casey
Someone
Anthony
who's
is.
Manchester, he's by the sea. It's Casey Affleck, Ben Affleck's little brother. So, that movie...
I said Casey Anthony. That's the mother that...
No, yeah, that's a piece of shit right there. Casey Affleck, he wins awards and stuff, That family's pretty, they're doing well. And then Best Musical or Comedy was La La Land, and I've heard good things about it, and I want to see it, but also I never really see those. I'll probably make a move because I know a couple people who saw it, like, oh, it was really good, you'd like it a lot, and because I'm a huge, being raised in Denver and all that, and now in Texas and more east, central, but I've always been very West Coast, and I love the whole romance of
Hipster.
LA. Yeah,
Sorry about the cough.
and shows LA is the. If you look at LA, it's all struggling actors and actresses, trying to catch a break. But to be honest, most of them never, what is it, like 1% of those people, make it.
Mm-hmm.
Of any of those, it's a really hard
The
thing.
rest of them get naked.
Well,
Get it?
yeah.
Become porn stars.
Shoot, it's even hard to be a porn star because if you put it on like the Pornhub, who's gonna really watch it? But let's see, La La Land won Best Director.
I don't know. Like, I want to see La La Land. I'm a sucker for musicals. Like,
I like Emma Stone and Ryan
I'm
Gosling.
usually bribed into seeing them. Like, oh well, I'll give you like $20 and we'll get you dinner or whatever, something like that, to go see the movie. I'm like, all right. I know.
What kind of shit is that, dude? Like, are you a prostitute?
I feel like it sometimes, man.
If you put on some...
you were prostituted to go see Twilight.
If you put on some lipstick and I'll give you a meal, I'll let you fuck me.
I like to be wined and dined before you fuck me.
Best drama TV series is the Netflix TV show The Crown.
Never seen it.
Haven't seen it, but I hear it's good.
I like how the Golden Globes us describe it as haven't seen it. Heard good things though.
Shit, La La Land mopped up the Golden Globes though this year. Like,
I thought.
Best original song is a song called "City of Stars" from
I think
La La
it's something
Land.
I might see.
Best supporting actress is Viola Davis from the movie Fences, and I just know that's a Denzel Washington movie. I don't know what it's about. Like you said, I'm uncultured swine. I don't. That's the thing. Like, I feel like the Academy Awards and stuff. Like, what I liked about 2016? For the 2015 movies, was Mad Max Fury Road mopped that fucker up. That was the best movie for me. I've seen Mad Max Fury Road over 55 times. I know that's really sad to say, but I've seen that movie a lot.
It's such a good movie.
It's such a good movie. It's
whether
so
it's
watchable.
the soundtrack, the cinematography, anything about that movie, you can sit there and love.
It's 2 hours of nonstop adrenaline.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a really simple story if you look at it. But you see something, you notice something different every time you watch it. You understand it more. You see something like, oh, I didn't notice that the first time. But it's, George Miller is fucking a genius. He's, the Mad Maxes are amazing. And that's why I'm really glad he's, I think he's working on is called Mad Max The Wasteland. So, which I hope they go like Mad Max Wasteland, because I don't want to be Mad Max The Wasteland. That takes away from it. Where, like, if you look like Mad Max, Mad Max The Road Warrior. Okay, that's the one with the, and then there's Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome. But then they brought it back. They kind of rebooted the franchise, but it's still continuing, outwards. It's like 30 some years after the original Mad Max.
Yeah.
Mad Max Fury Road. That's like Mad Max Wasteland. That'd be badass.
So wait, so they're going to be...
He's on pre-production, I guess. It takes a long time. George Miller, he's such a perfectionist, and everything is mapped out. I guess, like, out of all, like, the storyboards and shit that they created for the movie, like, 80% of that shit made it into the movie. They knew exactly, because it's such a visual movie. You can't really explain it by script. You can only explain it by picture. Mm-hmm. This shot, and all those shots that you saw on the thing. You're like, oh wow, he really did. He had everything mapped out, and his wife is the editor, and she won, I guess, the Academy Award last year for best editing, and that was we're going 2015 here, but that was the best movie for me. That's why this year I didn't really care about any of the movies.
You're sitting there watching Mad Max. That's just your deal. No, you even got all the original Mad Maxes and everything.
Oh yeah, I've seen them all.
With Mel Gibson, which, wow, those movies still hold up even after all that time.
The first Mad Max is slow. The Road Warriors badass, and Beyond Thunderdome is what ruined the series because number one, it was PG-13, and there was a bunch of kids, and it was too lighthearted.
Master Blaster.
I like that Master Blaster. Who run by the town? Master Blaster run by the town. I love the way they talked in that movie, though.
Oh, yeah.
Because you could see Mad Max starts off of the, humanity kind of collapsing. And then it goes on to the Road Warrior, where it's just collapsed.
Yeah.
Where everybody's kind of like, fucking, hold on, Samuel L. Jackson from Jurassic Park always said, hold on to your butts.
See, that's the only thing that concerns me about Mad Max. And, I love the franchise. It's just George Miller. How old is the dude?
It's like 70, 71.
He's like
He's old.
He's old. And it's kind of like with the whole George R. Martin thing.
That guy's severely overweight, though.
All right, yeah, he's tinkering right now, but
it really also doesn't depend, lifestyle and shit. But usually, there's some people who just look at poor Carrie Fisher. She's only to 60. When you look at that's really young for how old everyone else is.
Look at George Michael. That guy was 55,
53.
I consider that young. That's what. Yeah, it was Isaac's birthday a couple weeks ago, and he kept saying, "I'm a quarter of a century."
Oh yeah, I'm a quarter of a century old.
It's such an nihilistic way to look at.
Well, because it went by really fast. Born in 91, and then boom, it's already 25 years later. But yeah, getting back to Mad Max, is the Road Warriors that collapse everything. Then Beyond Thunderdome is everything has gone to shit, and they've already dropped nukes. And I think that's the thing is they started to drop the nukes, and the world is going to shit. Road Warrior is before the nukes start hitting hard. So the world is kind of a wasteland now, and shit, Road Warrior water. And Beyond Thunderdome take place like 12, 13 years apart from each other. Mm-hmm. And then, so it's a collapse of everything. And then Fury Road, which is arguably, before it was the Road Warrior, which is the best, but then Fury Road blew it out of the water, which is a good thing. It's good you can make a sequel better than the originals.
Mm-hmm. Which doesn't happen very often.
Never.
That was, and especially with reboots. Well, they didn't necessarily reboot it, but they...
I watch Mad Max Fury Road, and then I watch The Road Warrior. It's like... Tom Hardy's such a good actor where I'm not like, oh, Tom Hardy, I know it's Tom Hardy, but I'm like, no, that's Max. And then I look at Mel Gibson in The Road Warrior, that's Max. Mm-hmm. I love the quote where he goes, a man reduced to a single instinct, survive. That's all he fucking is, That's the other thing when I look at Fury Road. Fury Road's, the world's been fucking over for years. Like, if you look at all of Fury Road, technically in the movie, that's all ocean. There's no fucking water anymore.
They're on the coast.
They're driving in the middle of the ocean. And when the big thing of Fury Road that everybody loves is Furiosa, but I honestly don't want her to be in the next Mad Max. Because it would ruin who she was, and it would ruin what Mad Max is. Is if you look at Mad Max, is Furiosa, it's her story. That's what Fury Road is her story. If you look at any Mad Max movie, Mad Max is always a secondary character. He's just a guy, he's a wanderer that everybody comes across. And they're like, oh shit, I met this fucking Max, what is it, Max... Rockatansky. It's like they run across this Max guy, and nobody, and that's the thing.
And he never says his name.
He never says his name. This is something, if you haven't looked it up, Max never says his name to anybody. If you look at Mad Max, his wife calls him Max and shit, and everybody knows him, but that's because people know him. The world is still intact. It's falling apart, but the Road Warrior program is still in effect. The last line of defense before everything goes to shit. But in the Road Warrior, never tells anybody his name. Beyond Thunderdome, never tells anybody his name. Like, there's a scene, I guess, in one of the movies where they're like, oh...
I think it's Thunderdome.
And he's yelling at somebody. He's like, who do you think you are? And then he's behind him and he goes, name's Max. And it's like, that's the only time he says his name, but he was doing it as a joke. He's not, like, introducing himself because he's a wanderer, and everybody he sees and knows just dies, and... He doesn't really want to form attachments because they all end up dying, so he's just fucking surviving because he would have killed himself a long time ago, but technically he doesn't know how to die. That's what I like about him.
Like that, he's reduced to one instinct.
Survive. That's all he does is survive.
But you could see how, like, battered and tattered he
Oh,
is,
he's
like by the PTSD just by
PTSD.
running throughout the.
Yeah.
And he's just having all these flashbacks, especially. You know,
So.
if you've seen the originals, his kid dies, his wife dies.
Oh yeah, well he's lost his kid, he's lost his wife, and then like they show the little girl in Fury Road, and it's like you could tell that somebody he let himself get attached to again. Like he let himself get attached to people again, and what happens? They get fucking murdered again. Everybody gets murdered. That's why with like Furiosa, when they're in the war rig, and he's like, go 2 clicks down the road and wait for me, and if I'm not back, by the time the engines have cooled, leave, then leave. And she's like, well, what about you? And he says, just go.
Yeah.
He doesn't look at it like, oh, you guys wait for me. He's like, if you don't fucking see me again, bye. He's not really like trying to get attachments. That's what's cool about him. But then that's what I'm talking about for Fury Road. This was Fury Road's story, but Wasteland should be another Mad Max, and it's people coming across Mad Max and him helping them, trying to find his redemption. The reason he's trying to like find redemption is if he can help one person, he's done his job. He's not doing this, because he feels right. No, he just gets stuck in it, and he's gonna do what's right.
Yeah,
he sees these.
He's the last line of defense. He may not be the best of the best. That's that's what the police were for. But no, he was the last line of defense
in this world now.
So,
So Tom Hardy, he's amazing in it, and what Mad Max is a story about how he loses everything. Road Warriors, where he helps the beginning of Road Warrior is told from the perspective of the old version of the feral kid. The little kid who fucking chops his arms
with
off
the fucking boomerang.
Yeah.
I was like,
the boomerang.
what the hell is happening in this movie?
It's told from the perspective of the feral kid. He's like, we came across this guy, Max. And, then it's a story. He's like, this is Max's. And then the story of Beyond Thunderdome is about the kids of Captain something. They're all, oh, Captain, blah, blah, blah. That was their, the children of that. He's the one who went in there and fucking saved them. And they all remembered him from there, And that's why I like at the end of Fury Road is, he who wandered, what is it? What is the quote? He who wanders in the wasteland in search of the better selves.
Oh, yeah. And they, like at the end of the quote, they refer to him as the first history man.
Well, I don't think they refer to him as the first history man. I just think everything's gone to shit. And he kind of like, everything's gone to shit. And first history man is like first person who starts history again. If you look at like the Library of Alexandria, that's what kind of kept history. And when that burned down, a lot of it was lost, where that history's kind of gone, and would start over. It's like that's like 10, 15,000 years ago. In terms of humans in their infancy, there's no history on it except for some of the guys who smeared their shit on the wall, and we see it. But where must we go? We who are
Oh, Isaac.
I'm just talking about like
you can't jump to that.
Yeah, I jumped for fucking talking about
smearing shit on the wall.
Because I don't give a fucking shit about cavemen. They're idiots. So I don't care if cavemen or
they ate Neanderthals.
I hear people pronounce it Neanderthal. But where must we go, we who wander this wasteland in search of our better selves? First history, man. So it's cool. So if you're, sorry we got stuck on a tangent, but we were actually talking about a really good movie. If you haven't seen Mad Max Fury Road,
you're lame.
Where have you been?
Yeah,
it's like,
under a
I
rock.
have showed this movie to everyone I know.
Were you the one smearing the shit on the walls?
It's like you've been living under a rock. But yeah, that's the quote.
Back to the Golden Globes.
Yeah, well, cool. That was it.
Yeah.
It's like Zootopia won Best Animated Feature. That was a good movie, but okay.
The only thing to come out of it was like drama between Sylvester Stallone and Creed.
Well, there was drama of, I guess, Sylvester Stallone and his wife. Adrian! You had to get. I went to get a table, and there was one seat for me. Probably, Adrian over here, she get this done, and I'm like, that bullshit, and greedy and lazy. So basically, yeah, Sylvester Stallone had a
translated,
seat.
yeah.
on a table where Casey Affleck was sitting, Matt Damon was sitting, and all of them, and everybody had their seats except there was one seat on the table, and it was just for one person to sit, and it was Stallone and his wife, and he's like, "Fuck this," and went to the green room. That was basically it. You know, people would be like, "Oh my gosh, he's so angry." I'm like, he fucking was like, "This is fucking shit. I want to go back here." That was it.
Ladies and gents, that's news anymore.
Because he's the one
How
who...
is that news? I don't understand that.
He's the one who was presented for, I think, Best Director or Best Movie or something like that. I didn't watch it because I don't like the gold. I don't watch any of that shit, you know. I think it's dumb. Which I did. I think Jimmy Kimmel's the one who did it, and I like Jimmy Kimmel, though. But yeah, we'll get back to Fury Road real quick. Just in terms of, let's talk about something good. Not about Stallone and his jet.
Your bar was killed by a Russian dude.
Which I watched Creed last night. That movie was fucking awesome.
I haven't seen it yet.
It was good.
Like, everyone I've talked to just can't stop talking about it.
Oh yeah, I saw it on Amazon Prime, and yeah, it's, you know, it's, that's what I like about Creed. It's about, Creed had a son. He had an affair on his wife, and you know, she had a son, but that lady died, and then that lady...
Spoilers.
No.
No, yeah, that's spoilers.
But then that lady, you know, the kid got stuck in the foster system, and then he would go to juvie because he liked to fight, but then Apollo Creed, his wife, seeked him out and adopted him. It's like what happens the first 2-3 minutes of the movie, is she adopts him, and
it's cool of her.
And then, you know, his name's Adonis, so he's Adonis Creed, but he goes by Adonis Johnson because he doesn't want to be in his father's shadow. Because remember, he never knew his dad. His dad died before he was born. Because, you know, he got fucking beat the fuck up by Drago. But his mom doesn't want him to be a boxer. Nobody wants him to be a boxer because of his dad. And he doesn't want people to know who his father is. And then he moves to Philly, and then he goes to Rocky, and then it's really good. It's a good boxing movie. It's really well done, and I hope they do more. I hope Sylvester Stallone can stick around to do some more of those movies, because he's really good as being like the new Mickey, you know, training. He's old, and his hands, he can't...
Mr. Miyagi?
You know, you fuck your hands up when you box. You fuck them up big time, and I like how he's not like, oh, I can't, but he just can't punch and shit the same anymore. You know, he's old, you know, he's 70 years old. But that's a good movie. But another good movie that we hope for was, we're talking about The Wastelands.
Yeah.
Mad Max. And I guess Tom Hardy, I guess he signed on for 3 movies. And he is just waiting on the call for the sequel. That's what he said. And to be honest, like, if you look at it, Mad Max came out in 2015, but they shot that movie in like 2012. The movie took like 2-3 years to get out. It was in production hell for a long time. They shot it, but number one, like, the pacing of the movie was really hard, and test audiences didn't like what they had seen and all that. So it took a long time for it to hit the, you know,
but man,
theaters.
The final product.
Well, yeah, that's why I'm glad it did well, because I was always hearing shit, but... You know, so let's hope George Miller gets his fucking
how many
shit.
times do we see, like, movies like Judge Dredd that are just...
Well, Dredd was good, but...
I thought it was great.
And that Fury Road is a masterpiece. Fury Road is a masterpiece. Number one, the art design, the direction, because they put you in a world and they tell you nothing about it. You have to learn about this world yourself. There's no... Oh, they don't explain anything. Anything. Like, I explained a lot to you in terms of talking about the Mad Maxes, but they don't explain that to anybody. It just starts and it's Max in a story. But it's like, who the fuck's is a Morton Joe guy? What are these war boys, and why are they Half-Life war boys? You know, Comma Crazy is what they call them, Comma Crazy war boys. And it's like, they put you in this fucking world, you're like, I don't know what this is. And everybody I've showed it to, you know, they're like, what? Who's that? What? I'm confused. What?
Decapito.
But then, like, you know, 30-40 minutes into it, you know, they're just trapped in the story. I showed it to people who are old and don't fucking like movies. They're like, wow, that was really good. Because it's that kind of movie. I showed it to, remember Auntie D? Mm-hmm. She fucking loved it.
Oh, yeah.
I showed my mom, she loved it. I've showed it to everybody I know. They always, I've never seen someone walk around, oh, okay, I guess. And if they do, I'd fucking sucker punch their ass. And it did, you know, it did well, and I hope Wasteland does better.
Wow. That's violent.
What?
A sucker punch their ass.
It's a movie I've wasted. If I've watched it 55 times at 2 hours apiece, that's 110 fucking hours of my life, pretty much. I've wasted on that movie. That's fucking almost like a fucking week I've spent watching that. And so yeah, that's another one. I'm sorry. I guess this is kind of becoming a movie podcast.
Definitely.
That's a huge part of pop culture of what we like.
But we also won't refine it. It'll be whatever it is.
Whatever stories we see is cool, and is relevant for what the time is. Like Rogue One, I guess, came out this week in China.
They're gonna build a wall.
China right now, until I think at the end of 2017 they'll overtake America.
They're huge.
Is the number one box office, in terms of gross, is America. But number two is China. But China's catching up to America in terms of money they spend on seeing movies. So China, in the last decade, like if you look at like why the fucking Marvel movies do so well, is they came out right when China was starting to see movies a lot. It's a huge culture now to see movies in China. So that's why if you look at The Force Awakens, they add, what is it, the Kanja Club, those Asian dudes, they're fucking...
From Raid.
They're Chinese, I think, they're Chinese actors. And,
if you've ever seen the movie Raid, or if you haven't...
Well, The Raid Redemption. Raid 2.
Woo! That's a good movie.
Those are guys who are from it, but... So they put people in there, Asian people, in order to pull in Chinese audiences because they're trying to hit that market.
Just even with Donnie Yen.
If you look at Rogue One, fucking two big, Donnie Yen. I've seen him in a shit ton of stuff. Remember Ip Man and all those.
Oh yeah.
So, but it came out last year in China, and for like $60-some million. It's just huge. But the Chinese market, number one, doesn't know what the fuck Star Wars is. People probably watch it, but it's a foreign movie. Nobody's really seen them, so it'll catch on. But then Rogue One came out in China this week, and it only did about like 31 million, which isn't great in terms of. Force Awakens did like 68 million last year. It's still claiming the number one spot in China. So, but I don't really care about that because the movie's number one. It's already it's the second highest grossing Star Wars movie of all time right now.
Yeah.
All these stars, back then, the money, if you were to add it for inflation, A New Hope would be the biggest and shit. But Force Awakens did $2 billion. I don't think even Episode 8 will hit that number. It'll probably do $1 billion and some. But that's a really good fucking thing that Disney did. Is they spent $4 billion on Star Wars, and they already made half of it back the first movie. And they're already almost $1 billion into the second standalone movie. It has nothing to do with the Sega. Shit, Disney's printing money with that franchise, and they're taking good care of it, though. So, yeah, that's from Fortune. But a movie we have talked about a couple times that we hope, I guess it comes out in November, is the new Justice League movie. And this week they released a picture of all four of them. It shows Batman on the left, Wonder Woman,
Megatron. Oops, I mean Cyborg.
Cyborg. Yeah, if you look at Cyborg's crotch, it looks like Megatron's face. And then there's the Flash, and then Aquaman.
Meatloaf, I mean.
And Batman looks cool. I don't like the goggles.
It looks like the Owl. What was it?
He looks like Owl from fucking The Watchmen.
Yeah.
Which I understand is Zack Snyder, but I'm like, man, Zack Snyder, like, he is getting in his
Quit your shit with the
way.
L's.
Well, no, he's getting in the way of making these movies good. DC puts Zack Snyder as the head of the basically, DCEU, and
Wait, I don't understand.
He shot himself in the foot every time. Like, Man of Steel should have been amazing. It was okay. Batman v Superman should have been epic. It was long and boring, and it was a lot of talking.
A lot of talking.
And
your mom's Martha too?
He didn't have much to do with Suicide Squad, but Suicide Squad should have been amazing. It was fucking awesome. No.
No.
Suicide Squad, to be honest, is the weakest. because I watched something on YouTube a couple days ago where this guy's talking about when people watch a movie, they just watch a movie like, oh, okay, here's the story, action, end credits. Okay, I'll go home. But when you watch a movie, the way you shoot, compose an image, and the biggest part of making a good movie is editing. And Suicide Squad was fucking known for its, Warner Bros. Is known for its terrible editing. Like, they come out with a movie and then there's a director's cut, and then they're like, no, we don't like that. And then they cut it themselves, and that's what comes out in theaters, and it's shit. Well, that also happened with Suicide Squad. The director had a cut. It was slow and kind of lanky and shit. And then they hired the people, Trailer Park.
Yeah, they're from the trailer. They made the...
They're the ones who
movie
did the
trailer.
first... Well, no, it was another studio that did the first Suicide Squad trailer, like the cool one with the Bohemian Rhapsody. But they give it to another studio, and they cut it. And number one, you can tell they cut trailers because, man, if you do notice, those cuts are so fast and violent in the beginning of that movie.
All right. I was sitting there, and, you kind of said, like, oh, beforehand that it was cut. And just watching it for the first time, it felt like a movie trailer. It didn't feel like a movie. It felt like I was watching a movie trailer.
I guess, like, the guy's saying, if you watch the beginning of the movie, he said there's 3 different songs.
Yeah. The songs
before
were...
the first before the title, showing Suicide Squad. They show in, and then it's like it was terrible editing. It was edited terrible, and the story made no sense. That's the thing is, like, if you look at it, it goes and it's like, it shows the character, boom, 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 this is the character, boom, 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 this is the character. Where they should have, I know it was fast paced, and it's like, oh, boom, here's some text on who Deadpool's, fast, boom, fast. I'm like, don't show the text for 10 seconds. They pan in, they show the prison. Oh, whoa, what is that cool logo? Truck goes across it. I'm like, you're not, when you compose a shot, you want the audience to see what you're looking at, and they don't do that. Like, it starts off and it shows the security room of the guy looking at all the cameras, and then it shoots the fucking Deadpool punching a bag. They should have composed it at a shot, dead shot, shooting at Will Smith punching the bag for the camera watching him in the room. And I'm like, oh, okay, that's cool, the shot, and then it shows what he's seeing. Because then a couple scenes later, they do that with Harley Quinn when they electrocute her, and then it shows her, and then it shows her again from the security terminal going back.
Well, I'm sure that they did take the shots. It's just like you were saying with the Warner.
I guess they did 200 and some hours of footage they shot for the movie, but that's what they fucking edited, and it was terrible. It was terrible. It made no sense,
and that's gonna be awkward if Jared Leto leaves, because we've all heard, and if you haven't, Jared Leto's. He has such a sour taste in his mouth because of how much they cut out.
We got an opportunity to see the Joker here, and we got an opportunity to see the Joker close your eyes and blink real quick, and he was gone. That was it. And that's another point the guy brought in is, you remember the security guard, the dude from Mad TV? They show him. They're like, they show this character, and they build him up, and they don't do anything with him. You do character development, and then he disappears after he gives Harley the phone, and then she's like, ha, 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 and then he's like, what does that mean? And it's gone. We never see him again. What? They show him as the bad guy in the beginning. He's the one who tortures these fucking people. He tortures fucking Harley Quinn. He tortures Deadshot. Remember all the guards beat the fuck out of him because he pisses off the guard. So they set up this character as a big bad guy. And then we never fucking see him after the Joker's like, it's like, what? So,
it kind of reminded me of like how with Transformers 4 Age of Extinction, how they did the whole, like, what's that one guy that's in Silicon Valley, the funny, like, curly haired dude?
Oh,
he was set up to be such a character, like a funny character.
TJ Miller, I think.
The comedic humor. Then he gets killed fucking 15, 20 minutes into the movie. And you're kind of like, why was he set up?
What movie?
Transformers 4 Age of Extinction.
Don't talk about,
That's
the worst movie. I love it because I like the action, but you don't watch it for the story. You don't watch it for the story. I watch it for the robots.
I sat there in the first 20 minutes of this movie and I said, is this over yet?
Yeah, it's...
And then I look over to Isaac and he's sitting there, whoa! The explosions! And I'm sitting there like, Why the fuck did they build this guy up? What's all this fucking random
Well,
shit?
You know, I know I'm fucking laying into Suicide Squad here, but I've kind of gotten to a point where I'm like, why are they fucking these movies up? First
Yeah,
off,
that's where I was going with Transformers. You know, I was raised with Transformers, the cartoons and everything. What?
yeah, Transformers is shit.
No. I'm saying like,
And it's going to be
you
shit.
know, and then they do it with Suicide Squad with the comic books. They're just
No,
they keep doing it. Where
it's not
they're just
that.
doing it out for the action.
It's
For the
they
wows.
completely ruined the movie in terms of their decisions didn't make sense. Maybe there's film out there where this shit justifies what it's for, but let's say the guard, boom, he's gone. Okay, and then we see Amanda Waller, the lady who's like, oh, she has a plan and she knows how to get people to do things they don't want to do. But guess what? She's a fucking idiot. Okay, the first thing, like, oh, we're gonna get people to do stuff we want to do by fucking torturing them and making them hate us. That makes no fucking sense. Number one, if you're this smart fucking strategist, that's not how you do it. So number one, that's already going, you know, a little flag in my head. And then they show up in the room where they show the witch, and you're like, ooh, cool, you know, we've got all this cool shit. And we're like, oh, okay, so we're ready for it. And what happens? Fucking, oh, we want to create a team because what if Superman comes down and rips the top of the White House out and takes the president? We need people to fight the fucking metahumans. There's two fucking metahumans on that team. You know, so it's like, I think that's what fucking pissed me off, is like, their decisions, like, Harley Quinn, what's she gonna do against Superman? Superman's gonna rip her limb from limb. And then they show Captain Boomerang. He's just a thief. He has no powers. Deadshot's a good shot with a gun. What's that gonna do against Superman unless you got kryptonite bullets? It's like it just didn't make any sense. So, but remember that's what they say. Is, oh, we're going to make a team that can fight metahumans. Okay, so you've just set up the story point. And then they go, and then the witch lady goes, and the enchantress, and she, oh, brother, and she lets her brother go. Number one, they fucking show no exposition on that. And then we go and we see the, you know, he's like, oh, she ran away on me. And then the town, you know, what is it, a Midway city is going to shit. And then like, oh, send in these people. And then they go, because first off, they're like, oh, you need to send these people in to fight metahumans. But then they basically go around and turn the story around and say, oh, they need to go into Midway City to save some special person. You just contradicted yourself. And then they go into the city, and, oh, guess what? It was Amanda Waller the whole time. She was, you know, oh, we had to save her. I'm like, why? That made no sense. And then what's the first thing she does when they save her?
Kills them.
She fucking murders all the employees. She's like, this is above their clearance level. What? So yeah, that movie, and that's what scares me looking at this Justice League. Is like, are they going to do the same thing? Are they? Because I gave a free pass to Man of Steel. I gave a free pass to Batman v Superman because Ben Affleck redeemed it in terms of that fucking end scene where he beats the shit out of everybody. That Batman fight and Superman scene was fucking... The only scene I wanted to see in the movie was there for like 3-4 minutes, and then... Like, really? Ugh. So that barely gets a pass. But then Suicide Squad comes and it's supposed to redeem everything, and it fucking backfires. DC, stop fucking up your own entertainment universe. You're fucking yourself over. Number one, you have this guy named Zack Snyder. He's awesome. But he hasn't done anything good since 300. He hasn't.
Damn.
Okay, fucking Watchmen is good, but it's fucking boring. You know, it's like, yeah, that comic book is a comic book you can never really translate into a movie, and he did it, but it didn't resonate with audiences. Oh, Sucker Punch, worst movie I've ever seen in my life.
That movie's horrible.
You know, shit, to be honest, probably one of the best movies I've ever seen Zack Snyder do is probably Dawn of the Dead. You know, at least that movie was fun.
300 was good.
You know, well,
I
yeah,
gotta say
300
300 is
good,
my
but it's
favorite.
nothing but slow-mo shot after slow-mo shot.
I think he's good at action.
So he's his
Wow, he's good at wow.
yeah, but like he's really good at composing a shot where if you freeze any frame of Batman v Superman, it looks like a comic book shot. That's good and all,
I mean,
but the story sucks. The story sucks. So we're looking at this image, and it looks like a maybe a ship or something going down. So it looks like they're gonna leave this thing, and there's smoke coming out of the sides because you know the hydraulics always have to smoke. Aquaman, he looks pretty tight to me. You know, number one, that's not a trident though; that's 5 tongs. Uh, we got the Flash. The Flash that doesn't look like that's a very good suit to run in. It,
it looks like Meatloaf.
I like the Flash in the WB show. I like the outfit. That is a good Flash. And then this is like I feel like they put all of their brain power in trying to design and overcomplicate the suits than putting into the actual movie. And then we have Cyborg. It looks like a fucking transformer, and he's probably gonna have a bunch of moving parts inside. And like, ooh, we don't fucking give a shit. And look how small he is. Like, to be honest, he's in the background, so he's probably as tall as Batman and shit. But Cyborg to me is a fucking big cyborg dude. So okay, and then number one, Gal Gadot. That doesn't look like her face. If you look at that's not her face. That looks like they fucking fucking stunt double and
Kim Kardashian.
Because look, it looks like she got stung by bees the way her face looks like. So number one, that's not Gal Gadot. And then Batman. Oh, that's fucking tight. But number one, why are they giving him the Dark Knight armor again? I liked his suit in Batman v Superman. I understand he's fighting bigger shit now, so he needs to have the armor for it. So it is very Arkham-esque, like the Batman Arkham games. But those goggles, I don't like the goggles. And then it makes his eyes look like they're all the way fucking up here.
Yeah.
So you're shooting yourself, DC. Well, I hope y'all come to a new thing. But sorry, I just get nothing but rant about the movies anymore because everything Marvel does, they knock it out of the park. Look at Doctor Strange. That movie shouldn't have been good. It shouldn't have been what it was, but somehow they got in there and they ripped off Inception, but it made it its own, and boom, the movie was fantastic. If Marvel can make Doctor Strange cool, DC can make the Justice League cool. Come on, people.
Rich, I'm kind of confused why they're adding Cyborg. I usually saw him as like Teen Titans.
Because in the New 52, he's a founding member of the Justice League.
Oh,
I've never really cared about him.
Yeah, I've never really.
So yeah, that's what we have there. And in terms of like TV shows, I guess it was a terrible movie, but I love Jim Carrey. It was what is it, the series of unfortunate events. They came out with a TV show on Netflix, with Neil Patrick Harris is the bad guy, and I'll give it a watch. So give on Netflix this week if you want to have something to watch a series of unfortunate events. It's based on child books, and I used to read them when I was a little kid. I used to like to look at the pictures, and I remember in all the pictures, the little baby was always eating like metal and shit. The baby ate everything. I always thought that was funny.
Which I don't know. Whenever I see Neil Patrick Harris, I think Neil Patrick Harris. That's all I think of him as. I don't think of him as any other character. Like even in Harold and Kumar, he played Neil Patrick Harris. He played himself because he's just such a recognizable guy.
Yeah,
kind of guy.
He's an actor. He's
like with Tom Hardy, you lose who he is.
He looks like the character. Jim Carrey looked better, but I like how the title of this is. It's an article from The Verge where it says Netflix. Netflix's A Series of Unfortunate Events gets right what the movie got wrong. So number one, that's a good thing because with a movie you only have 90 minutes to try and tell a story. But with Netflix, which is awesome, I don't know if they're 30-minute shows or an hour shows, but if it's 10 episodes, either you got 5 hours or 10 hours to tell a story. That's what I like. So go watch that. And to get off of this stupid fucking rant on Justice League, Zack Snyder, I don't think you're listening to this. I don't even think anybody listens to this, but I hope somebody does.
Damn,
and if you
put
listen,
yourself down, man.
Please share the podcast. I know it's on YouTube right now, but please share it. Please just
like, share, and favorite.
I hate how I have to. I feel like I'm whoring myself out here, but come on, please. It's like if you if you liked anything we've said, please. And if you don't agree with anything we've said, oh well. Everybody has differing opinions, but don't want to lose your respect because I respect anybody, even if you have different. Unless you're a crazy racist misogynist, then maybe I'm not gonna like you. But if you're a normal person, you're fucking tight.
Yeah, if you've sat and listened to us this long already, kudos.
Kudos to you. And please give a like.
I think most people would have gotten a straight jacket by now or something. But
we're going for a little palate cleanser in terms of let's see if we can find ourselves something funny. Yeah. All right. I looked up some stupid stories and I found one story I find exceptionally stupid that it's fucking hilarious. I haven't read it all, so I'm trying to save it for a first time here. Is
exceptionally.
It's from BBC, and BBC News. It goes, grilled cheese argument ends in attempted murder charge. First off, that fucking title of the article drew me in. It's like, and then it shows the picture of the dude. Daniel Blackwell was arrested after the tense standoff. There was a standoff. This could be a movie right here.
The guy has a mustache and a receding hairline.
The grilled cheese redemption.
I know, but he has a black eye. Like, wow, some shit went down. Yeah.
So I'm already pulled in by the article. I'm excited to see what happens next. An argument over a grilled cheese sandwich ended with a Baltimore man facing attempted murder charges. Daniel Brian Blackwell, 55, became angry when his wife took a bite of his sandwich and shot her through the basement floor, she said.
Wait, what?
So number one, okay, let's see. He goes into the kitchen and he's like, I want to make myself a grilled cheese or something. He has a grilled cheese, like, this is my grilled cheese. And then he looks and there's a bite in it. And he's like, that fucking bitch. Let me get the gun.
Now, was he in the basement when he was shooting up? He was like, that fucking bitch.
He says he shot her through the basement floor.
So
either he was downstairs ready to eat a sandwich,
or upstairs,
and he saw the bite mark, or he was upstairs, saw the bite mark, and so he was downstairs maybe doing the laundry or so. Then he aims down. He's like, I think this where that bitch is. Boom.
You fucking bitch.
So she fled the building with 3 teenagers, and police began a 3-hour armed standoff. Oh my gosh. So she eats a sandwich and then she runs out of the house when he shoots at her for eating his fucking my grilled cheese, bitch. You fucking ate a whole $1.75 of groceries. And then Blackwell is not legally permitted to own guns because of prior convictions for assault, police said. So he's already a short fuse. He has priors against him, so he can't legally own a gun, so he's already fucked there. So why are you gonna lose your shit over a grilled cheese sandwich? I guess I think
that's why.
Short fuse. Blackwell's not legally, he can't own a gun, but 15 guns, 4 of which were loaded, were recovered from the house. He later left the house unarmed and was subdued by non-lethal means. Among the weapons was a lever-action long gun with a chambered round placed just inside the front door, police said. Blackwell's wife told the police that after the argument over the grilled cheese sandwich, she heard a gunshot while she was in the kitchen. Blackwell came upstairs briefly, she said, before returning to the basement. So he was in the basement. 3 more...
He fucking went down. Like, that bitch is right there.
So he saw his sandwich was eaten by that bitch. Sorry, I'm just saying this because I'm thinking from his perspective. He takes a sandwich, says she fucking took a bite out of it. He shoots it where he thinks she is, and then he walks upstairs to see if she's dead. She's not. He's like, okay, I've got to correct the course of where she is, and then went back downstairs, and 3 more gunshots followed, and the bullets came through the kitchen floor near where she's dead. Oh my god. I gotta read that again. Blackwell's wife told police that after the argument over the grilled cheese sandwich, she heard a gunshot while she was in the kitchen. Blackwell came upstairs briefly, she said, before returning to the basement. 3 more gunshots followed. And the bullets came through the kitchen floor near where she stood, she said. Blackwell has been charged with attempted first and second degree murder, first and second degree assault, reckless endangerment, and a number of firearm violations. This dude fucked his entire life up over a goddamn... I don't even like grilled cheese sandwiches, so why would you get so angry? It's like, this guy must love them. It's like, I love one of my favorite foods, maybe like hot wings or pesto or something like that. If you eat that, I'm going to be mad at you. I'm not going to be like, today's the day this motherfucker died.
The funniest part is that the wife was like, oh, the motherfucker's shooting through the basement. Comes up and he looks at her like, okay, you're going to be right there?
You stay there.
You make me another fucking grilled cheese sandwich.
Pat your feet so I can hear you.
Yeah.
He's at the ceiling. Bam, bam, bam.
You dead yet?
Did that get her? Oh, man. So sorry if it wasn't as funny to other people, but yeah, that was funny. This guy fucked his whole life over
when
for
they
a
started,
goddamn grilled cheese sandwich argument.
When they started saying that they got like 15 guns, I was thinking of that scene in Hot Fuzz with that old farmer that had like fucking 20 guns. No, he had a barn. Never mind, he didn't have fucking 20 guns. Like,
so yeah. And another thing this week, you know, a little palate cleanser. Sorry, that one was funny. Sorry if your ears are hurting. We didn't mean for that. But tax season's coming up near the end of January. That's why people usually get their W-2s. And, you know, I've been preparing for tax season, trying to get, because I just moved to Houston, Texas, so trying to get all the W-2s sent here to the right address. But people who, April 15th means it's time for most of us to give the IRS its annual pound of flesh. Quote, most of us, unquote, being the operative term. A few delinquents try to fool the tax collector, but it usually only works for so long. So I just gotta look at this one as Willie Nelson. It's tough to be mad at Willie Nelson. So when Willie got into tax trouble, his fans were there to bail him out. After the IRS hit the country crooner in 1990 with a bill for $16.7 million in unpaid back taxes. Holy shit. He must make a lot of money, number one, to owe all those taxes. So good on him. But man, getting hit with a bill for that big, fuck. Nelson had to hand over many of his possessions to stay out of prison. But in a bit of quick thinking, he released an album poking fun at his plight, calling it The IRS Tapes. Who will buy my memories? His fans took the title literally, snapping up his items at auction and then handing them back over to Willie. By 1993, Nelson was able to settle his tab. Shit, that'd be awesome. He's like, oh, they're going to sell my shit. He's like, okay, who wants to buy this cowboy hat? $200, buy it. Okay, here, Willie. Thank you. So, that was cool. Then it showed me, I don't know who the fuck that is. I don't know who the fuck that is.
Willie Nelson, if you ever been to a Texas Roadhouse, or like we like to call it Texas Roadkill, there's a Willie Nelson corner, and every single time you go into that corner, you check, and there's like a wax figure or a doll of Willie Nelson, like laying up on the seat and everything. I'm always like, that's creepy as hell. Like, that guy's famous. Like,
yeah, that's creepy.
And he's a huge stoner.
So there's this place in Denver we used to eat at, remember, Wishbone? And when you would go pick it up, there'd be that statue of Elvis Presley standing there.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't like that. I'm like, what the fuck is this, like, weird It was like one of the wood, Native American statues that they usually have outside smoke shops, but it was Elvis Presley standing there. I'm like, what the fuck is this? So, and then the last thing I want to talk about, I don't find it very funny, but everybody's talking about it, and I just need to look at the mindset. A mom-to-be wears Chewbacca mask while in labor. What? The Force was definitely with Katie Strickler Curtis, 32, on January 3rd, when she gave birth to her first child, a girl named Jaden Lee. The medical assistant from Windsor, Ontario, decided to don a Star Wars Chewbacca mask during labor, leaving the staff at Windsor Regional Hospital in stitches. Oh man, this is going to be funny, don't you think? A 10-second clip of her going through labor while wearing the Chewie mask was posted to her Facebook page. Okay, number one, I'm sorry for even mentioning this shit. Because remember the Chewbacca mom? That was funny, I understand it. And she got her 15 minutes in the spotlight. Okay, we're going to give a lady who's like, oh, I'm going to get just as famous by whoring out my little baby by wearing a Chewbacca mask when my tummy rumbles. Okay, let me watch it. This lady laying in bed. Okay, so she's acting like her Chewbacca mouth is open and doing it. She's acting like she's in agonizing pain because labor. I would probably die if I was, as a man, we would die in that pain. But okay,
We wouldn't.
Yeah, we would.
No.
Men cannot handle pain that women can do. It's a proven fact. Women have a way higher pain tolerance because they're bred in order to have something this size come out of that. You're fucking dead, dude. If that happened to a man...
You ever tried eating P.F. Chang's for a week? You ever heard of Bono from South Park?
Hey, but that's a poo. That's not a full-fledged human. So, yeah, that's...
Bono's just a huge piece of shit,
That's
man.
basically everything for today. We'll probably be back in a day or two if you want to listen and, subscribe and like and all that shit. Thank you for joining me, Billy. It was fun. Had a good night. We had a couple laughs, and we had a couple rants, and we fangirled on Fury Road for the millionth time. Remember, guys, if someone eats your grilled cheese, don't shoot at them because you will go to prison, and you'll probably, fuck your life over, and he's probably gonna get raped or shit in prison. Like,
Whoa.
yo, what did you do? And he's like, I tried to kill my wife. Like, oh, was she cheating on you, dude? And you're like, she ate my grilled cheese sandwich. And they're like, this fucker's getting a beat down.
Some guy still says tapioca.
It's that
Start
guy.
shaking him on
He
the-
gets the
the
lame
yard.
award of the week. People are lame, but you're not as stupid as this guy. So, thank you for joining us on People Are Lame, episode 3. Again, I was joined by my brother Bill, and I'm Isaac Gilberry. And have a pretty good week. And remember, people are lame.
Wait, how are you doing?
Lame.
I was barely legal, looking for something evil to say and people to be antagonized. And you said to me it's not a good strategy, you should grow up, try to act like you're civilized. I explained that I just valued sincerity, you should go fuck yourself and then try to die. You were sick of it and called me an idiot and left town and said, are you satisfied? If I had what you had, I could get you to break. No, I'm not in your face, I'm just getting by. If I had what you had, I could get you to break. No, I'm not in your face, I'm just getting by. Oh, caught a beating but would not be defeated by any man who couldn't see I was always right. All I said was I don't mean to offend, but you're the dumbest motherfucker I've seen